Hey, my name is James. I'm a grateful recovering addict and alcoholic. Tonight, we're going to discuss your experience with ADHD and relapse, and I'm going to tell you my experience with ADHD and relapse. Attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity. What are the symptoms? Well, I'll look them up. But I can tell you this: fingernail chewing, impulsivity, scattered thoughts, knee jiggling, mood swings, forgetfulness, tendency to start projects but not finish them. What's up, Sigma Schwab? I'm glad you're stoked for these live streams daily. For those of you, if you're new here, my name is James. Sober James channel is where you're at. I stream live daily podcasts, one day at a time, on addiction recovery and everything in between. Here we chat, we connect. It is said that connection is the opposite of addiction. Well, there's a phone number. Schwab. You might join the military. Fly Navy. Fly Navy, Schwab. How old are you? It was one of the coolest things I ever did was join the Navy. My ADHD affected me there too. We're going to talk when you guys start rolling in about how ADHD affects addiction, recovery, relapse, alcoholism, all the goodies. Yeah, man, 18. If you join the military and like it, you could retire at 38 or 43. You could retire, bro. Which means I would have been retired. What's up, Kit Kat? How you doing? Hashtag Holly. Sigma Schwab is going to join the military, but your first step has to be become a member to the Sober James channel today. Not just any member, a Sober Stage Crew member. Check out that link in the chat box. I pinned it especially for you. I struggle with attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity. What does that mean? That means there are projects in my house that I started 5 years ago. That means I bite my fingernails because ADHD is associated with a low dopamine regulatory system, a low dopamine supply, off-balance regulatory system of dopamine. What does that also mean? It means I'm searching for instant gratification, which leads to addiction. Nicotine, alcoholism, sex addiction. I'm not saying it's but yeah, I'm addicted to all of those things. No, but ADHD is more than just, I can't pay attention because there's a squirrel playing out there. It has a laundry list. What have you been obsessed with, Sigma? You got to join Sober James channel. No, I'm looking for members. I have tried going back to the workforce recently, and it's the same old jammy. They take advantage of you. It makes you feel like you're not together enough to get your YouTube channel up and running to where you can sustain a financial living upon it and do what you love by helping addicts around the world. Oh, it's Noah. Noah, what up? Yeah, man. Hey, man, good to see you, bro. Sigma. Yeah. Opioids and alcohol. Yeah. You can do the military, bro. Go to the Navy, bro. Fly Navy. There's some drinking in the Navy, a lot of drinking in the Navy. But there's also recovery in the Navy, I'm sure, at this point. And, well, I can't tell you what to do. I mean, I joined the Navy when I was 21. It was right after 9/11, so it was 2001, 2002. I was like 21. And I wish I joined the Navy at 18 and stayed for 25 years and retired at 43. You can do this, man. Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. Join the military for something you enjoy. Like I signed up for photography, be a photographer's mate in the Navy. But there was a war going on, war on terrorism, so they put me on the flight deck of a nuclear aircraft carrier, twice, 2 different carriers, in the Persian Gulf, to be dropping bombs on them skimbly bims and then bimbers. What's up, Gail? Hashtag Sigma. It's good to see you, Noah. It's good to see all of y'all. It's good to be seen. I'm 445 days sober. But my alcoholism relapses every day. Alcohol is such a small part of alcoholism. Addiction in general is complicated, but it's basically a malady of the mind. It's a disease of the mind and the spirit. Your mind will try to kill you. So being obsessed and going crazy, don't worry about it, bro. You have a disease that needs it's calling for medication. What is this hissing I keep hearing? I don't have any radiators. Radiators! But I'm going to be streaming every day now. Gail, Sigma, Noah, hashtag Holly. Y'all better consider signing up for a membership. It's really easy. You don't have to, you know what I mean? I need you to call 700 other friends and everybody sign up and hit that join button. Health anxiety, biggest triggers. What's up, Maltese? I remember you as well. ADHD, bro. It's so frustrating. I can tell you my experience. Let's put it this way. ADHD runs the gamut of the entire life and seeps in through the pores of your life. What up, teddy bear? Fine, there's a good card-carrying member. 28 months sober. Good for you, Gail. That means you're doing something right. One day at a time. Miss Ford, I know you'd be buying Gucci bags and stuff. No, yes, you guys do have to become a member now. You know, I'm sick of being passive. I'm sick of saying it doesn't matter. Please become a paying member to the Sober James channel, please. I cannot survive in the workforce. I'm working as a postal carrier, rural carrier associate, and they're abusing me, and they're stealing my money, and the United States Postal Service is not anything like I thought it was going to be. It's crooked. They're a bunch of thieves, and it's just ridiculous. But I've had many jobs with many employers, and because of things like ADHD and alcoholism, it may be why I struggle in the workforce. But unfortunately, ADHD affects my... Oh, shoot, now, here we go.
I feel good.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Gail. Hell yeah. Now I got 12 members I'm well on my way to that 700 that I need. Thank you very much, Gail. I'm going to try to get, man, fuck the post office. Goddamn USPS. Fuck the United States Postal Service. Period. I don't care if this particular stream gets demonetized. You wouldn't even believe it. I don't believe it, and I'm going through it. You wouldn't believe how they use and abuse and try to get away with not paying you what you worked for. And you wouldn't believe it. I know I didn't believe it. It took me 6 months to believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I had to do math multiple times, figure out they adjusted. I was missing 36.22 hours from 1 month. That is a work week. That means about a quarter of my pay is just flying it out into the wind. You know what I mean? Fuck the post office. I'm tired of being a thief, Noah says. Just months ago I wasn't, now I am. It's another reason why I want to join the military to get stronger. And I'm respected. You have a disease, bro. The military isn't going to fix your disease. I joined the military. My disease almost got me kicked out. I got a DUI, went to captain's mast, almost got kicked out of the Navy. I'll tell you what you need to join, bro. Alcoholics Anonymous. It's a program of attraction, not promotion, but I'm going to just promote it right now. You better take your ass to Alcoholics Anonymous and stay there. Take everything they have to offer. Take every suggestion they say. Been drinking energy drinks regularly since my teens, Mr. Fowl says. Does that make me ADHD? There's a lot of symptoms of ADHD. You can go to NA2, Narcotics Anonymous, same 12 steps. They just replaced the word. Alcohol is a drug, bro. The only reason these two, there's dozens of 12-step programs, anonymous programs that you can go to, anything from sex and love addiction to Debtors Anonymous to Clutterers Anonymous. I have a short on this channel if you'd like to check out all of the anonymouses, but I forget how many, but I list all of them on the short on the Sober James channel. Subscribe and hit the like button. Share this out to 700 people and get them to join so I can freaking throw double middle fingers up. Hey, if I get 700 members, my gift to those 700 members, I will film me throwing double middle fingers up to the United States Postal Service. Well, Sigma, you have a disease that is beyond human power. There is no human power that can relieve you of your disease. That means not you, not me. Only a power greater than you can relieve you of your disease of alcoholism and addiction. That one is God. May you find him now. God of your understanding. You'll learn all about it. All you got to do is start going to meetings. But we don't do that until we're desperate enough. And attention deficit disorder can prevent us from even remembering to go do that. I struggle so hard with ADHD. Let me just tell you about my day. I went into work. I went to a meeting at 7:30 a.m. and then went to work where they didn't really need me. So I came home. I was all stoked about getting back into the channel and starting to change my life into a life of making a living at recovery with the channel, with being a peer support specialist. I got the class in March. It's going to change my life. I came home all stoked. I went to sleep. I took a nap. Because here's the thing with my ADHD, and this manifests with everybody slightly differently, but similar symptoms. Mine involves putting off anything. If it has more than a couple steps to get finished, it's not going to get finished. Unless I'm really interested in it. Like, you know, anything with drugs and alcohol, I'll see it through the end. Sex, all the foreplay, all the climax and the cuddling afterwards, all those steps I can get done because I'm interested. But figuring out algorithms and SEO techniques to become up to date in 2025 with a YouTube channel and to start to do more research and all of that. You know what I mean? Hey, is that Hot Boy Ryan? When do I know when enough is enough? Like I get lower and lower, but it's never enough. Oh, you'll know. Rock bottom has trap doors. You're 18, buddy. You haven't even seen the darkness. You think you've seen darkness? You haven't seen darkness. Bro, the last rock bottom is death. But before that, when it comes to addiction, especially alcoholism, before your ultimate rock bottom, which is death, you're going to experience a bunch of rock bottoms. I mean, you can probably count the ones you've experienced already where you thought, wow, that was pretty bad. I'm done with alcohol. I'm done. And then the next day you're drinking again. It's a power greater than you. It's up to you when enough is enough. If you have ADHD, you may forget. Mr. Fowl. I was arrested in 3 countries by the time I was 23 for drinking. I've heard recovering alcoholics say, I didn't get in trouble every time I drank, but every time I got in trouble, I seemed to be drinking. That might be true for you, Mr. Fowl. ADHD also comes into play when you're working a program. You might get sick and tired of AA meetings and the program, and your interest and your dopamine and your stimulation may go down the tubes, and you may just relapse because you're not practicing recovery. Whenever we're not practicing recovery, we're practicing relapse. Whenever we're not practicing recovery, we're practicing relapse. That's the nature of the beast. Could be the last time you hear from me. You never know, I could get laced with fentanyl and boom, it's over. Everything is fentanyl now. You're the one telling us that, bro. I don't have any control over that. You have the power to go to NA and say, I don't have any power. Or I recommend AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. You probably haven't seen your bottom yet. When your limbs get torn off because you're all messed up and running around in traffic or something, maybe then you'll be like, all right, I could probably stop drinking now. I don't even have any hands. Don't have any arms. But I'm still in one piece, a pretty tattered piece at that. But I made it. I'm 445 days sober from deadly drugs like alcohol and benzodiazepines and addictive behaviors of that sort. I'm also on a exercise regimen, which apparently helps ADHD. Diet and exercise do. I'm so sick of having ADHD, man. I can't concentrate. I cannot focus. I cannot operate. And it most definitely contributes to my substance use disorder every day of my life. Even when I'm not using substances, it makes me want to. It makes me want to. I don't want to get help for me. I want to do it for my biological dad. No, it's possible. That's what I want. Well, that doesn't work. Don't feel bad that you don't know that. We all have to figure it out the hard way, but unless you do it for yourself, it tends not to work. Which is why in the program there are things like helping another addict and alcoholic will teach you about loving yourself. It will the reason step 12 is help another addict and alcoholic is because that fills in your self-worth. You gain self-esteem by doing esteemable things. In the program, we do service work. We do things for other people. The more selfless the act, the more spiritual payload it has. The program has an answer for every part of the disease that is alcoholism and addiction, and it is a multifaceted disease. It hits you with all kinds of stuff. So the program hits it back, but it hits it, you got to work it. You got to work it to the 100%. I do take meds for ADHD, yes, and I've tried a bunch of them. What's up, Naylin? I like all these familiar names and faces. Hey, all of y'all without a membership badge, y'all see the join button down there? Hey, I need it. It's time to call in some favors. I need members. I need members. It doesn't cost much. It's a monthly thing. I'm going to go ahead and post the thing again. I need members. Hit this join button. You'll get a James Brown Skimbly Bimbers, Skimbly Booms. I need it. So let's do it. I got 12 members. I just got a new member today. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Gail. It's good to see you still. Good to see you again. It's good to see everyone still around here. Ryan, I don't ever really, I hope for you. I don't think I've prayed for you. It has been a minute. Will you find out truth? I myself will give up on you for now. Not saying calling you I was part of the process. You have been confirmed. Simple James. Good to see you, Naylin. And not use something. You can't do it, bro. Sigma. You can't do it. There is no proving you can do it. You can't. A power greater than you can. That power for now, if you don't believe in God, is the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. Give yourself completely to it. That means do what it says. Don't do what you think. What you think has gotten you here. And you might have ADHD anyway. So you might not even be able to think. Well, thank you, Naylin. Sometimes I think I look good. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think I look like a nut. And sometimes I don't. But Ryan, I hope the best for you. Whenever I hear your comments or see your comments in the videos and stuff, I don't know, you're just drunk off of IPAs, insisting that some alcoholic beverages are better than other alcoholic beverages for the alcoholic. False. That is a false. The alcoholic cannot consume alcohol without experiencing the phenomenon of craving. One is too many, and 100's not enough. That's alcoholism. Well, when it comes to alcoholism, when you take away the alcohol, you'll find out what alcoholism is. It is an incessant chattering in your brain that tells you you're inferior. You're not as good as them. It tells you anything that it needs to get you back to that alcohol. That's what alcoholism is. It's an incessant voice in your head that never sleeps, never gives up. And if you catch it and you put a finger on it, it'll change forms, it'll shapeshift, it'll change voices, and it'll change angles, and it's the craftiest, most cunning, baffling, and powerful thing I've ever experienced. That's the disease of alcoholism. It chips away at you until you drink. It wants to kill you. It'll wait years if it has to. If you're not treating it with the spiritual program of Alcoholics Anonymous, in my opinion, then you're just on your way back to the drink, however long it takes. Eat the damn fruit made me an alcoholic. Nature, nurture, no one really, well, I don't know which it is, whether you're born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Alcoholism can be nature or nurture, but the fact is, left untreated, alcoholism for the alcoholic means death, and a nasty, ugly one at that. You'll be yellow with a colostomy bag, no friends, no family, probably homeless. It's a long, drawn-out death. But there is a solution, and it is found in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. If you don't want to buy the book, download the app Everything AA. If you don't want to do that, maybe someday you will, if you've had your fill. Schwab, Noah, it's in, well, I mean, I think you're on the right track. I think you're on the right track, Noah. You're aware of the destructiveness of your condition. You're aware that you have a condition. But there's some counterintuitive things that your disease and ADHD will not, make so clear for you to see. Gail says, I've been very fortunate. This is my first time quitting. I've had no desire to touch a drink, and I am even able to go out with my friends, and it does not bother me. And Gail said she's 28 months. Yeah, Loudermilk is pretty good. I saw some of that. Skimbly Bimbers. Gail, a one white chipper, I think they call a one white chip wonder. It has taken me a bunch of relapses. Over the course of 2 decades, I've had a number of relapses, but I've put together some time. The thing about time, whether it's once you start racking up some time away from your last drink, you begin to grow, because you have to face, if you go a year or more without drinking, you in that year have had to face some life situations. You've had to face and deal with your attention deficit disorder. You've had to face and deal with your emotions, and you've had to do it without the medicine, alcohol. The perceived medicine is alcohol. We drink and we use drugs at our feelings. We drink to celebrate. We drink to get over negative feelings. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Yeah, Loudermilk is pretty good about alcoholism and alcoholics. And excuse me, Grabowski. After my last relapse, it took me 2.5 years to get back into the rooms. Yeah, I've had relapses where it took me years. This past relapse, 445 days ago, or 500 days ago, I was drinking for 6 months. What up, Mike Tucker? Broken into. We got robbed. What? Right after your, what? Who were all those people at your house, bro? Mike Tucker. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. This is just another thing that you can, not drink over, and this experience will toughen up your sobriety, because back when things used to happen to us like this, we would drink immediately with resentment, anger, frustration. We would drink. We wouldn't get to feel the feelings we're supposed to, so we wouldn't grow and we wouldn't learn. So what I'm discovering in recovery and sobriety is situations like that, or deaths in the family or friends, or hard, troubling tribulation times, when you go through them, when you feel the frustration that you're feeling and the resentment, you're feeling it, you're learning how to deal with it without alcohol, you're definitely growing. You know what I mean, Mike Tucker? So feel that. But I will tell you this. In the big book, it says, even justifiable anger is best left to those better capable of dealing with it. That means not me, the alcoholic. I am not able to, I just don't have the, without AA, I don't have the tools to deal with even justifiable anger. And being robbed is definitely something to be justifiably angry about. Relationships in early recovery. I can sometimes use women as a replacement for substances. Yeah, me too. And that's an excellent point. I'm on my 445th day of abstinence from deadly drugs like alcohol and benzodiazepines. All deadly drugs. I'm no longer medicating. I quit nicotine. My point is, I too can get on Tinder and swipe my dopamine into my brain and use people like I used to use drugs. When I cursed out my own father, I realized I was using him like I used to use drugs. I was treating him like shit, drinking him up and casting the bottle away. You know what I'm saying? Just by cursing him out, not thinking of his feelings. Yeah, Grabowski's got the right idea. You go to a meeting instead. See, Mike, this is where you go to the meeting for your tools. You need tools of AA to deal with this stuff. You know, unless you're... We all think we're smart enough to figure it out on our own. But it's not a matter of intelligence. In my experience, without the fellowship, the tools, the literature, the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, without it, I'm as good as dead. That comes from my track record. I went as long as 4 years. I went as long as 2 years without it, 2 or 3 years, and slowly but surely my alcoholism chinked away at my defenses and the tools I had learned in AA, and I drank. Knowing that drinking will only make it worse only helps for a little bit. Knowing that you're powerless over alcohol only helps for a little bit. When you practice the program in all of your affairs, including giving your will and your life over to the care of God, you find true serenity and peace. Heartbreak has just kept me sick for a long time because I get involved with sick people. That's the other thing, bro. In the rooms they say, as far as relationships go, our pickers are broken. So when you pick a mate, a romantic partner, you're picking, your alcoholism is shifting the gears, is pushing the buttons, is picking your mate. And your alcoholism is attracting a mate that will kill you. Alcoholism is cunning, baffling, and powerful. As an entity, it will do whatever it takes to kill you. If that means attracting a certain... you saw... How many of you guys saw my relapse live streams when I was living with Shia? My alcoholism had a homeless guy living in my house and basically a homeless woman living in my house. Both drug addicts. My alcoholism moved them into my house. Got me a pretty twisted girlfriend at the time, and your alcoholism will do whatever it takes to kill you, and it's working on you right now. It's working on me right now. The only way is to treat it with a daily reprieve, one day at a time. A very diligent, a very purposeful treatment of it one day at a time. And for me, that happens with the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. Yeah, I was struggling. My alcoholism dictated that whole thing. It made our alcoholism as a disease will make it hard to live and easy to die. Your alcoholism will make it hard to live and easy to die. And as you get older, it progresses. It's a shadow self. It also, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll use your disorder, your attention deficit disorder against you. It'll use your loneliness against you. It'll use everything. That's why it's so cunning, baffling, and powerful, man. It uses everything to kill you. Yeah, the addictive mind, the alcoholism. Alcohol is just a liquid. Alcohol is just sitting there on the shelf. Before I came along, alcohol was just sitting there on the shelf. I am the problem. You're absolutely right, mind's eye. I am the problem. My alcoholic mind, my disease, is the problem. We have an obsession of the mind coupled with a physical allergy. That means I'm obsessed with getting that first drink, and after that first drink happens, an allergy occurs, which produces the phenomenon of craving, where you just can't drink enough. So it's an obsession of the mind coupled with a physical allergy. And that goes for all addictions. If Beanie Babies is your addiction, you just can't have enough Beanie Babies. 1 makes you feel good, 2 is better, 1,000 is not enough. But alcohol is specifically has been the culprit for ever since man first crushed grapes. So you're absolutely right, Mind's Eye. It is the disease of the mind. That's something that's never cured. I am an alcoholic till the day I die. and it has to be treated every day. And it progresses. It grows as I grow. It is as smart, as cunning, as powerful, and as baffling as I can be. It is my shadow self. So I have no power over it. The power I use every day is the power of the God of my understanding. And I do what AA suggests that I should do. Because I've learned that if I don't, I drink. And if I drink, I die. I mean, that's the realest of the real that I could ever say. Like, that's real. ADHD doesn't make it any easier. ADHD is like a disorder where you can't think, which may seem like a good thing when thinking is your problem. But it's not that you can't think, it's that you're thinking of all these things pretty much all the time. And not one thing gets your attention, but all these things. So there's a ton of things involved with addiction and relapse and alcoholism that ADHD, in my opinion, is responsible for. Impulsivity is a big one. I can be practicing the program for a year, and then one day I may just get an impulsive anger. Somebody robbed me, and I have justifiable anger, and I forget everything in the book, and I forget all to call my sponsor, and impulsively I take a drink. Boom. You're back at ground zero. You're back at step one. You are now powerless over alcohol, and you will have to start your sobriety if you make it back. If you make it back from a relapse. That's the thing, bro. I relapsed a couple times in this 20-year journey. I feel at this point, I'm having trouble recovering at this point, as far as getting my life together, learning who I am, how to deal with certain things like ADHD, anger problems, mistreating people. I'm learning more and more. The longer you grow in sobriety, the more will be revealed. And you have to lean on AA and the fellowship and the tools therein to be able to handle this shit. The way we used to handle this shit is drinking at it. But that doesn't work. I wish I could drink at everything, and still be a relatively safe, healthy human being. I cannot drink alcohol. I will drink it all, and jails, institutions, and death will happen, and it's quicker and quicker every time. Addiction is like a beast that can go dormant, but then sleeps with one eye open. Your addiction, even as you're not participating in it, my addiction right now, it's out in the parking lot doing push-ups. It doesn't care if I'm active in it or not. It doesn't care if it's working on me right now. It is out there doing push-ups, ready for my next bout of anger, for my next impulsive decision. It's the most cunning, baffling, and powerful thing I've ever experienced. And I am not a power great enough to fight it. I've tried. No human power can relieve me of my alcoholism. That means you have to find a power greater than yourself, a higher power. And you know what? My higher power doesn't have ADHD. My higher power isn't impulsive, doesn't get super angry and curse loved ones out. My higher power doesn't procrastinate and take naps instead of working on his YouTube channel. My higher power is incomprehensibly vast, and I place my troubles in the hands of my higher power when I remember. Now, I'm an alcoholic, so I'm not a saint by any means. When I remember to practice these principles of the program I do, ADHD messes with that too. Impulsivity messes with that too. I can just impulsively decide to just go with my alcoholism's suggestion. Working out, yep, that's one thing that does. Here's what I've learned though. One thing doesn't do it. Alcoholism and addiction is so many things against you that you actually have to you have to change everything. Just like Carl Jung said, you have to have a psychic change, a paradigm shift in the way that you perceive the world. Our addiction stems from how we perceive the world. We're conditioned. We can't just know that we're perceiving it wrong and then it's all fixed. We have to practice a new way of life. That new way of life is written out like a blueprint in the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. I worked the 12 steps. If I don't believe in God, I had to learn over the course of a decade that I need to find a way. I need to find a way to believe in a power greater than myself because I was going by my opinions all those years. My opinions, my ideas, my greatest solutions got me drunk time and time again. I had to relinquish my will and say, you know what, AA? You sound stupid to me, but all of my ideas are getting me jails, institutions, and death. So I'm desperate enough now. Maybe I'll take your advice. I will come to believe in a power greater than myself that can restore me to sanity. Sure, I will hand my will over to the care of God as I understand Him. Sure. I started doing it. Miracles start to happen. The first one is the obsession to drink is gone. For now, as I practice, I haven't had the obsession to drink in 445 days. I used to drink every day, every minute of every day, and if I wasn't drinking, I was thinking about drinking. That's gone. That is a miracle. That is a power greater than me. That's AA. That's a God of my understanding. It definitely isn't me. It definitely is not me. I work out every day now. This is some of the things that start coming back into life. When you don't have your medicine, when you don't have your alcohol or your nicotine or your opiates, when you don't have your comfort and your dopamine and serotonin fix, when you don't have your drugs or your sex to fix your mood, to get your dopamine, you have to then learn and grow. How do I now handle this anger, this horniness, this sadness, this angst? You know what I mean? Well, I'm glad I'm saying something that makes sense to you, Angus. If you like it, hit me up with a super chat and hit me up with a join click because your boy is going crazy. I'm going crazy trying to figure out what to do with my life. I want to help addicts for a living via this channel, and I'm getting a peer support specialist certification here in less than a month. So check out that join button. I'll post it again. Or the super chats. I can actually set a goal for the super chat. Super duper duper chats. Super duper duper chats. All right, here's one. I'll have a goal of one super chat. I'll set it for, we are 50 minutes into this live stream. I'll set it for 15 minutes. We'll go 15 more minutes. Somebody hit me up with a super chat, Skimbly Bimbers. Or and then if you hit me up with a super chat, I'll stream tomorrow. I'll stream tomorrow. That's my goal. Let's start the goal. And then also, I'm going to post the join link to join as a member to the Sober James channel. Give yourself a commitment. Become a member of a community that's recovery and sobriety. Come around and discuss addiction, recovery, and everything in betwizzle. Planet Fitness. Yeah, I tried Planet Fitness, but I got sick. 6 days into my membership to Planet Fitness, I got sick, and I'm like, well, that's a pretty efficient way to catch a virus. Go to a gym and touch everything that everybody else is touching when they're all sweaty and sneezing on shit. So I'm like, F this. I'm going to work out at the house. But with ADHD, I can't commit to something that I'm going to lose interest in it. So over the course of my entire life, I have come up with a 10-minute, it's a 5 to 10 minute strength building circuit. The only way I get through it every day is by saying it'll be over in 5 to 10 minutes. So, no, it's human to have revenge fantasies. I mean, look at Trump right now. He's acting out all his revenge fantasies. He's firing FBI agents and shit. Anybody that's ever done something he doesn't like, he's now firing. He's literally, but he's a human. Mike Tucker, you're a human. And I'm a human too. But even justifiable anger should be left to those that are better equipped to handle it. That's in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. It is implying that we alcoholics are not able to handle anger like that of other people. Have you ever drank at somebody? I already know the answer because I know I have as an alcoholic. When I get a resentment, if I'm super angry at somebody, I'll drink at them. I'll show you. I'll drink right in your front yard. Kick in your TV. It's like you're drinking poison and wishing the other person would die. Mind's Eye says, I was so ADHD I couldn't shut my mind up long enough to understand what ADHD even was. What do you mean was so ADHD? I guess you're treated with medication. So I've tried Strattera, I've tried Wellbutrin, I've tried all the Bing Bong Booms. The only thing that somewhat works for me is long extended release Adderall. You might say, James, you're a drug addict. You can't have Adderall. Well, uppers and downers are night and day for me. I don't go for uppers like I go for downers. In fact, I only drink 1 cup of coffee per day, maybe a soda, but I don't go for uppers. No caffeine, no cocaine, no Adderall. So I can have Adderall without abusing it. Adderall works in the way that I will have a steady, if in the morning, I will have a somewhat put together dopamine supply to where I can focus and get something done. But it runs out. There is no... Barely anybody can comprehend what attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity is. ADD and ADHD is a very complex and vague spectrum of a disorder. Hit me with a super chat, I'll listen. Ryan, do you ever think people don't listen because you're saying the wrong things? Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. One of the things I found in recovery is, I'm the problem. If I have a problem with any situation, person, place, or thing, there is undoubtedly a disturbance in me, not in the world. There is something that I can change. If you have a problem with any situation, person, place, or thing, It isn't that situation, person, place, or thing, but your perception of it that is the problem. And that's a age-old spiritual teaching, but it's also in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. The problem with ADHD is we're not always on. You know what I mean? This right here is what I love to do. Recovery. Speaking about recovery to other alcoholics and addicts, I love to do it. You might say, you seem pretty focused. You don't even seem like you have ADHD. That's because I love this. My interest is in it. You know what I mean? Do you guys ever experience that? You can do something if your reward center is rewarded, of your brain is rewarded, if your dopamine is supplied, you'll do something till it's done. It doesn't matter what it is. You'll get it done because you're hyper-focused. That's like my ADHD. When it comes to recovery and the spiritual solution of addiction and all that, I haven't really... There has been times where I've run out of interest for it, and that is... those are times when I would eventually relapse. Angus Weeb says, ADHD meds were always too hit and miss for me. Make me reckless, kill my appetite, and funk with my sleeping. What I found was to be best help is routine, daily organized exercise, and sleep cycle. Boom. Yes. I've found these same things to work. Routine. That's like the ADHD killer. If you have a routine, basically, you don't have to think, which is like an ADHDer's weakness, is thinking. If you have a routine, you don't have to think. So my routine is going to AA meetings. My routine is now streaming addiction recovery one day at a time, live stream, Sober James channel, YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that join button, for goodness sakes. Join. It's only $3 a month. Or join the $9 a month. It's only $9 a month. What out there do you know that's $9 a month? To help me carry the message, somebody better hit that join button and get a James Brown up in this. Gail got one.
Wow! I feel good.
Thank you, Gail. Yeah, ADHDs medicines are hit and miss. Anger weakens me, Mike Tucker says. I wonder if that's common among alcoholics. Weakens. In the book, the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, read it, bro. Anger, it might be in the index. I don't have my book. Oh yeah, there it is. My microphone's on it. Anger might be in the index, but I do know one thing it definitely says about anger. Even justifiable anger is something we can't afford to harbor. Resentment is the number one offender of the alcoholic, because we will drink at somebody. You're resenting this person that robbed you. We take things personally. I have no doubt you've probably already suspected people that know you, and you're calling all kinds of people that you know names and shit because you're suspecting them of robbing you. I've lost my wallet a couple times in my life. I will tell you, every time I lost it, the first thing out of my mouth was, that fucker. Like somebody got me. But it was me. We take things personally. We do resent. And this is an active alcoholic. A recovering alcoholic that is participating in a program of Alcoholics Anonymous practices the principles in all of his or her affairs. So, love and tolerance is our code. Forgiveness, service. And if I was your sponsor, Mike, I would suggest that you pray for the person that stole your shit for 14 days every day you pray that they get the best out of life, they get the help that they need, and you just pray for them. And it's suggested, and I've heard this many times over the years, it's suggested that your resentment will go away. If you hate somebody, if you resent somebody, pray for them every day. Pray that they'll get the best in life, and just pray for them. And it's suggested that it'll go away.